When criticizing any artistic media, personal bias is a huge factor. Everyone has a perspective, and I'm no different. When considering anything in life, it's tempting to use that perspective as the basis for reasoning. But that's a flawed and rather dangerous instinct to have. The world does not exist within limited singular perspectives. Reality is larger than all of us, and to properly criticize or comprehend anything, we must be willing to dismiss our prejudices and biases. It's not an easy task. One has to be aware of how they think and feel, why they think and feel that way, then expend the resources to determine whether those thoughts and feelings are fair and reasonable. But if one is successful, it allows them to make more rational and compassionate decisions in general, not just in regard to media consumption. This is why, when I consider any art critically, I follow a basic outline of 3 steps. I ask, firstly, what does this art want to be? Secondly, is it successful in what it wants to be? Thirdly, is what it wants to be healthy, respectful, and worthwhile? There are many nuances to this, and sometimes I have to hop back and forth between steps, but it's a fairly solid foundation. I try to ensure that my own perspective and biases are the very last point of consideration. This means that the reviews you see are rarely an emotive expression of my own preferences, but instead are an emotive expression of my best available rationale. I'd like to run through a couple examples in MLP itself. Firstly, let's look at the ending sequence in Maritime Bay Adventure. Sprout has just been defeated, and now the main 5 are delivering a rousing speech about the importance of accepting change into your heart. All well and good. Then, Izzy drops this line.
And friendship is still magic.
When I first heard this, my immediate personal reaction was joy. Overjoy, even. It's a very powerful and evocative concept. She's asserting that the nature of friendship itself could never change. Neither time or tide could wear down its luster. But it's not a good line, and it's comically out of place here. It exists as a meta-contextual throwback to G4 of MLP. It's likely not something Izzy would actually say, and it further ingrains existing brand loyalty at the expense of the narrative. In other words, it wants to be heartwarming, and it succeeds in that, but it's not healthy or respectful. To give another example, let's look at Misty's mysterious new room. Utilizing familiar fantasy tropes, the episode seeks to evoke the heart of wonder and mysticism. And hey, I'm familiar with the tropes it's using. I like those tropes. So my first reaction is to enjoy the episode and sing its praises. But that wouldn't be fair to me, to you, or the art. Because as much as the art wants to call upon wonder and mysticism, it fails tremendously. It only ever includes the superficial elements of fantasy and has no interest in any of its meaning or substance. It's far more important to acknowledge that than to give in to my personal preferences. As I keep saying, this media property is made for kids, and so there's a responsibility to be substantive, to ensure that the story, characters, and world are intelligent, respectful, and encourage proper intellectual and emotional development. It really isn't, nor should it be, relevant whether I personally enjoy the art. I enjoy all art. It matters much more what the art actually is, what it means to say, and how exactly it does so.